We're going to start the second workshop session with the presentation of Mr. Felix Bubl and Elena Piras from ENERTRAG. And the presentation will be regarding the savings that you can make on the monitoring of the service and monitoring of the turbines and the inspection app. Okay, floor is yours.
Thank you, Adam. So, welcome. We all have customers and business partners, and they are sometimes cruel to us because they want us to get cheaper each year and to deliver more each year. And that's actually not really fair. And today, we talk about how we cope with this pressure. So, how can we achieve both get cheaper, so reduce the costs, and deliver more value? And in the first half of our presentation, we will show how we have improved our inspections. And in the second half, we will talk about reducing costs in monitoring. Okay. ENERTRAG is a 30-year-old company with headquarters in Germany. We have about 900 employees and we have about 120 turbines in Poland, which are in our operations. Wait a second. Now it works. And so all in all, I could speak about a lot of topics, but today we focus on our software and our drone. In the end of the last millennium, we already had 40 turbines up and running, and we wanted to monitor them on a live operations bridge, but in those years, you could not buy any solution for it. There was no software for monitoring wind parks, so we simply built it ourselves. And about 10 years later, we had a visitor who saw our software and asked if he can buy it. So suddenly we had customers. And nowadays, there are about 50 people developing the software, and the software has a lot of different modules, and we will not present all of them, but just to give you a general overview. Of course, our software is good at monitoring and operational management. That's where we started, and I will show you more about it later. We also are good in calculating who gets how much money. So, for example, here our Polish parks have different PPAs and CPPAs, and in the end we need a convincing bill, and we have a software for calculating it. Another part of what we are doing is we have a virtual power plant where you can remote control a large fleet of renewable energy systems. And we also have a solution for controlling the power of a mixed grid connection. Usually when you have at one grid connection parks from different manufacturers or even different solar and wind and biogas and whatever, you need somehow a conductor that controls all of this mixed installation. And that's what we develop. And now I'm coming back to the promise that we explain how we cut down the costs for inspections. And, before I give over the microphone to Elena. I just wanted to explain what we are seeing now would work for you. You could use our app, and you do not have to, well, switch off your current second-level SCADA system you're using. Our aim is to integrate with whatever software you are using. So we do not want to replace it. Only if you are really not happy with it, when we can talk about replacing it. But all in all, we are rather good at integrating. So please welcome Elena, who will explain you how we have improved our inspections.
Thank you, Felix. Hello together. We should start saying that our inspection process is based of two parts, a web application and a mobile application. A web application where you can create your own protocol, edit or validate existing protocols, and then you can use these protocols that you created before in your mobile application on the spot, on the inspection spot. What can you do in our web application? In our web application, as I said before, you can create a new protocol using, for example, so we created our web application putting some points and elements to define, for example, your inspection. We should start with the principle that every energy plant is different, is built different, so we should check it or inspect that in a different way. That's why it's possible in a web application to create different kinds of protocols that I can use in the inspection spot without, for example, choosing between 1 million protocol templates on the spot and saving time. What we see here is a display of protocol templates, and as I said before, I can edit them, I can assign them, because, as I said, it's very important. And in order to have the possibility on the spot, on the inspection spot, to have available just the protocols that I need for my wind turbine, for example, I need to assign them to a particular energy system. As I said before, we developed our program, our web application, in some points. Here, for example, you can build. Really, you have full flexibility in building the structure of your own protocol, and you just have to drag and drop elements and point in the middle part, and then you will have your protocol. I need to say that you have full flexibility. That means you can choose the elements you need. You can choose the defects, the deviations, everything you need, and put in a middle station. And it's very important because you can choose also the order. And it's a very important step because the order you're choosing now is the order you will be finding when you are on the spot. So our first word, let's say, when we start an inspection, we start in front of a computer using our web application. And the first step of our inspection is ready. So we created our own protocol, and now we can go on the spot and use our mobile application. Our Power System Inspections app is, as you see here, multilingual. That means it's available in German and English. And it's really, you can choose, for example, to make your protocol in German on the spot and then create a report in English later. For example, let's say there is a German inspector doing an inspection in Poland for a Polish customer. Of course, the Polish customer doesn't understand German, so at the end I can write my protocol on the spot in German and then create a PDF in English. This is an interface, so this is a very, very intuitive interface, and what I see now is actually a couple of points that I choose that I added, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but
no problem.
You know, I'm totally, you know, from another world of bird protection. So my question is, who is the main, let's say, persona using the app? So is it for the site managers, or because I mean the structure in Poland is you have a site manager, then the site manager is ordering some, you know, inspections of the foundation, then you have the turbine service, then you have, you know, all the other subcontractors that are doing things. Who should use this app?
This application is to be used from the person who really actually writes a protocol and track defects and add all this information on the spot. Of course, this application is also possible to be used from different persons, also offline. That means that not only the operator, the person who is in charge to write the protocol should use it, but every person with access has the possibility to use it. I don't know if you want to add something?
Maybe I come back later to this question.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And so what I see now is actually the list, the structure of my protocol template that I chose before in my web application. It's a very flexible navigation. That means that the system asks me to enter all these details that are needed for the inspection. For example, now I have up the back present power, then there is an anomaly. No, there is not an anomaly. I can go forward with a forward. And there is also the possibility, so this application has also special features. That means that you can take a picture, for example, on the spot to define better deviation, or you can add some comments, and if it's dark outside, for example, you can use the flashlight. Yeah, so as I said before, our application, our inspection app is multilingual, and it's also available offline. That means that as soon as I uploaded my protocol in the web application, I will see it in my mobile application, so in my inspection app, without doing anything. So I don't need a Wi-Fi connection to see it, and I can write my protocol completely offline, and I have it available as soon as, of course, I choose my wind turbine. So let's say an inspector or operator is on the spot 1 week long, and then have just at the end of the week a good Wi-Fi connection. There is the possibility to write so many protocols we want and then upload them later. Of course. So there is also the possibility, for example, so I can choose to upload my protocol into the main system. And it's very good because if I'm working on the spot and there is someone who's using the web application, I have my protocol in the main system within seconds. And another person can edit and do the changes and add some measurements and so on. So let's say I uploaded my document, my protocol, and I'm back to the office, let's say in front of a computer again using my web application or power system. Okay. Yeah, I already said anything. So there is also a very important thing. Every data, every information about the wind turbine I've choose to check are also available offline. That means so our power system, our software, our inspection app is part of the power system software. That means I have all that information that I need without switching apps. That means, for example, that I can get real-time information about the wind turbines, I can get a location, a route planning, or I can get a person in charge of the wind turbine, and also I have the possibility to get displayed all these features, or special features or hazards that I sometimes have when entering a power plant, an energy plant. And of course, I don't need, let's say my protocol template has 100 points, 100 things that I have to add. It's not necessary. If I know that a part is everything okay, I don't need to enter anything. And the system, you know, in the background there is a red sign because the system is telling me, I was trying to transfer my protocol and the system is saying, pay attention, you didn't add any detail, you forgot something. I can also, it's not necessary to enter anything if I know that everything all right. And as I said before, I can very quick, within seconds, transfer my protocol into the main system. What happens now after I created my protocol template and a web application, after I did my inspection on the spot? Of course, there are some other works to be done. We can do a very important thing in our web application. In our web application, I have, of course, as I said before, my protocol ready, and I can edit and evaluate the defects that I added in my protocol on the spot. And of course, I need to put, when I edit a protocol, I need to put a classification and a severity code. This severity code, together with the colors, come together also with a deadline, so a period of time in which these defects and deviations that I entered needs to be fixed. And of course, so as soon as I am on the spot and in my protocol, I enter a defect or a deviation, this information, this data are automatically saved in the system, in another part of our system, of our software power system. And all defects are listed, as you can see, together with this severity code. And I can go inside and, for example, add a couple of more information, like, for example, longer descriptions, a person in charge of for fixing the defect, and also, for example, other stuff, like, for example, get a reminder as soon as I need to be reminded when the deadline is over. And that helps, of course, the further processing in other teams. And of course, our ultimate goal is to create a report. Our inspection protocol, a report, as I said before, is possible to be created in both languages, English and German. And as all data, all details that I put in my protocol on the spot, together with some recommendations that I put, for example, because the inspector, as soon as the inspector edit a protocol it wrote on the spot, can put some recommendations, and they are all listed in this inspection protocol. So at the end of this long history about our application app and the web application, I can summarize saying that with our web application and with our inspection app, we can save 80% of the time because we can make faster inspections and we get quick reports at the touch of a button. We can also create the reports in a customized layout. And of course, as I said before, it's possible that multiple persons work at the same protocol. And last but not least, no information gets lost. So we keep track of defects and deadlines, and I really don't have the possibility to make any mistake. Do you have any questions?
I do, as usual. So First of all, does it have a health and safety section?
Sorry.
Health and safety section.
Yes. Adam, I'm first answering your first question.
Okay.
You had 5 minutes ago. Then I come back to the health and safety part.
Okay.
5 or 10 minutes ago, you asked who will be using this software. And Elena just has explained that this software saves 80% of the time. For whom? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's when we started this lot. I said we want to cut down costs and we want to save time. And for whom? This app is for the company who inspects the energy systems, and I don't care if they up to now have been using paper to do it, or if they have been using Excel or whatever. How do your companies create their inspections for your parks, Adam? What are they using to write down the results?
I know somebody that can probably better answer, but the thing is that I don't recall we have a single person or single company that does, let's say, overall inspection of turbines and everything, apart from the representative of the owner, which, for example, Damian, can you say how you're doing, right? You know, if you're going to the site and you say, okay, there is a hole in the road, there is, somebody stole something from the turbine, or maybe, we found a dead bird. Do you basically write it down anywhere? You put anywhere in the record and you do it in Excel, or you just write down an email and send it to the owner?
Everything depends. Of course, we use paper version as a typical. Yes, thanks. We use paper version, and in some cases, when the situation is serious, of course, we send it by email, and just like that. And what we are talking about right now, it could speed up the whole process, yes, because I suppose at the same time we are preparing the report, the owner can receive the report and he has it on his desk.
Exactly. This is also an advantage. In the moment when the inspection has finished and there is an internet reception, the results are uploaded to the server and the customer or the owner or whoever can quickly see the results and start to react on them. And now I'm coming back to your other question about health and safety. 7 years ago, a co-worker of me died during an inspection. Burkhard was in the elevator when it crashed down and he did not survive. And that's one of the reasons why we have an emphasis on health and safety. And you can ask me about Burkhard and the accident later at the coffee, but as a result, we keep track of the dangerous components of each energy system. So if, for example, the elevator should not be used, we can tag it. And when the user of the inspection app enters the site, the user needs to, log on. And in this moment, we display the possible hazards. So we are warning the user, watch out, do not use the elevator because it is not safe. Or do not touch a certain thing, or maybe be aware a tiger has broke loose and whatever happens. Adam was asking how we handle health and safety, and we are handling it by...
No, I was asking whether there are templates ready for, health and safety, and because I saw, foundation inspection, different let's say, pre-prepared templates that you could use. And I
Yes,
was
yes,
asking
we
whether
have
you have to create your own for health and safety, regular checks. You're talking about elevator. We have the president of the technical, inspection office. And I think he's pretty much surprised because in Poland they're actually, supervising also the lifts and elevators. And I just, as you said, we can talk later about the details of the accident. But for me, it's like, if you have a hazard in the lift or the elevator, then you basically should lock it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because paper will not help people think.
What we actually do is we shut down a turbine when it's not safe. That's the simple solution. And but in some cases, it's good enough to just tag the components which are not allowed to inspect. So I would like to proceed with the presentation. Are there more questions regarding the inspections app?
I have only, well.
One question. You are saying that the direct saving is 80% of time. What is the direct numbers? Is it hours, in hours, minutes? I don't know.
This was many hours, and I can explain these 80%. Our customers, before they started using our app, were using Excel. So they had a large Excel spreadsheet containing all questions, and they entered the turbine and wrote the results in the Excel spreadsheet, and then they went home to the office and looked in the Excel spreadsheet and started to write a report explaining to the customer the findings of which were in the Excel spreadsheet. And this whole report writing sometimes takes 3 hours, sometimes takes 10 hours. It depends how many pictures are there. And this is now one click of a button. That's the main time saver. But of course, we have other time savers. For example, as Elena showed, usually there are more than one person going to the site. You need to be 2 people at least for safety reasons. And why should one of them just stand around and look at the clouds or whatever? Both of them can work on the questions. And with our solution, each of them can have a mobile device and answer the question simultaneously. So also the time on site is reduced.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is about the languages. You mentioned that you have the English and German. How the Polish and others? Are you developing this application for other languages?
Right now we also have French. We are preparing Spanish and other languages. And right now our customers mostly ask for English. But in the moment when you want the reports in Polish, we could add a language. Or Mandarin. Who cares? Well, I think with Mandarin we would have to check the layout because it could look messy. Any more questions regarding the inspections?
How much it costs?
It's actually, I don't know the price, but we have 2 price models. One is a very cheap price per inspection. The other one is a flat rate for the whole year. And usually our customers prefer the flat rate.
Is it possible to add photos to this report?
Of course.
And
you can. I recommend you to add photos, and you can mark what you observed in the photos, and it will be all contained in the automatic report.
Is the photo upload on live, or just waiting to be uploaded when the internet connection will be better? Is it saving on the
the
mobile
photo
app?
The photo is stored on the device, and as the internet connection is good enough, it will be transferred to the server, and you can add comments to it, you can paint on it, just to explain the viewer of the photo what you have observed. And it will end up in the automated reports. Any more questions regarding the inspections app?
Safe and healthy notifications for this fleet. For example, you have some serious notification, and all users of the fleet from different companies, different countries, have notification on mobile phone.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I understood you correctly. So let's invent a scenario. Let's say one specific manufacturer has a safety issue, and it's necessary to stop inspections for all turbines of a certain kind. That's your question. We do not have an alarm notification that pops up in the app, but we would show in the moment when an inspection is planned for such a turbine, or when somebody wants to log in at the turbine, then we would show the notification. But well, that's the current state. But if that's a key feature for you, of course, we can add instant notification. But I think something. Okay. Elena already explained it, but one other reason for saving time is in an Excel world, everybody thinks he has the current version of the Excel. But in reality, a lot of different versions exist on different hard drives, and when you cannot automatically process them. And when you update them, for example, if you want to somehow tell the Excel that you should not use the elevator, or I don't know. If you want to modify the Excel, simply I recommend you get out of your Excel chaos. You save a lot of time when you use a database solution instead of Excel. Any more questions regarding the inspections app? Okay. We have a booth over there. You can contact Elena and me later on. And now we proceed to Anne. And I ask our technician at the back to switch to the next slide set. Wait a second, because Anne will now show you another time saver, which is more hardware than software. Can we switch to the second slides, please? So, Anne, please introduce yourself. And,
thank you.
About your robot.
Robot, okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting until the presentation will change, but I can start, of course, to introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Anne Sommer. I'm from ENERTRAG Operation. And this is part of the ENERTRAG family, and I want to show where we in the ENERTRAG family. Because as Felix said, so far we were in our software world, and now we step out from the software and going more to the hardware and service world. And if the presentation would start to run, I could show you. It's like another presentation. We are not in this presentation anymore. We're going to the another one, where the drone is on. This is a little robot Felix mentioned. Oh yeah, that's the one. That looks very good. I would take this. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. So I will talk about Oh, there's a description in German on it. Okay, for everybody who can't see, wouldn't read this, but okay, yeah, so I'm talking about this little mission, this little drone robot in particular. We will come back to this picture because it shows our technical stuff really good. So, but we go further. And what I wanted to show, here you see like in the yellow boxes, the ENERTRAG family. And we talked about so far here about the power system. And now we're here at operation. So ENERTRAG Operation is a subsidiary of ENERTRAG. And as power system is belonging to ENERTRAG SE, we are like an own company and we are bundling the technical expertise during the operation phase. So, obviously. And what we do there is mainly doing inspections, we will talk about it, and operation management, which is also known as technical management. So here are some key facts, and I don't want to bother you, so I would like just mention the main things that we have 2.7 gigawatt plants in operation in our system, in our team, and on the inspection side we're doing more than 3,400 inspections a year, and this we do mainly in Germany and in France so far, but as we're here, and we're doing already some inspection here in Poland, as we have, Felix mentioned before, already our first project running. We have some Vestas and some Siemens wind turbines in Dunovo running, I think, from last year on or a bit longer, I think a bit more than a year. So now we're coming to the main thing because I want to speak about our drone inspection. Drone inspection for the wind industry is not that new, but what is new and what is innovative about it is that we can measure the lightning protection system without touching, so without no contact to the rotor blades. So how we do this? We have a high voltage generator which we put into the hub and connected there to the lightning protection system. And as you see, this generates then an electric field all over the rotor blade. So, and this is the point where I'm going back here. This is our drone, and we do here with the camera, we do the visual inspection, so you get loads of high pixel pictures out of the rotor blade, and we have this orange balloon, I would say, and this is the field strength meter. So while the drone is flying around the rotor blade, this field strength meter is measuring the lightning protection system. So we have like a voltage of 6,000 volt on the electric field. And if the drone or this field strength meter is detecting a defect or interruption of the LPS, we can precisely detect where it is. So you have the possibility to act on. So I don't know how it is here in Poland, but we have the requirement in Germany that we need to do this at least every 2 years.
As far as I know, we don't have any requirements so far in this respect. We had a presentation yesterday from another company that is doing the LPS senseless
actually this is the only competitor. So we are the only 2 companies offering this in Europe so far.
Okay. Cool. It's obligatory to do it every year?
Every year. Oh, as a sales manager, I like this. This is even more than in Germany, but yeah. As it happens once a year to every wind turbine, I think this is quite reasonable to do it at least once a year or every 2 years.
I know it from my operation, our operation team. I'm from ENERTRAG Wytwarzanie, and we operate wind farms. So, so maybe it's my wrong, but they told me that yesterday. Actually, it's 1 year every year.
I think that maybe you're doing this as a company because it's a good practice and routine. But as far as I know, I mean, there is no requirement. And I know that in Germany, at least that was said yesterday, it's a pre-requirement for the insurance companies for
it's from the
in
insurance.
Poland, so far, they don't require this to be done, and it's like better to be blind and not know anything.
Okay, I will do my research on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is how it works. And I put this in a short advance, this bubble on it, because we're doing this almost a year, and we're also learning on the way. And what we learned so far is every wind turbine is different. Also, when you have like the CERM turbine type, it can be different, and so we need to have our experts to check if we have access to the LPS. So, and beginning this week on Monday, this expert team was going to de novo to the Siemens Smart Grid 126 and 132 to check this, and yeah, I'm quite happy that it was successful, so we can do this drone inspection or LPS inspection on this turbine type as well. Yeah, so we learned a lot on the way. In total, we can say that the bigger, the better. So it has to do with the, as I said, the separation point and the clearly defined possibility to put the generator on the LPS. And yeah, what is the main or the biggest advantage as we speak about saving money and reducing costs is the reduced downtimes which you have with the drone. So you don't have to have a team like physically going up the rotor blades. It takes, yeah, for the flight it takes less time. And we offer this as a service. And if you want to take this as a service, we can do additional inspections at the same time. So you have the drone flying on the one side, and another inspector can go into the turbine and do like the machine inspection, the generator inspection, whatever. So you have just one downtime, which is shorter, and you have more inspections combined together. So if you want to do this on your own, we also offer this. We're working since half a year on a model how to do this, so we have a plan, but we're also open to individual find out what could work for you. What will be included all the time is that we inform you about the acquisition costs, the license costs, the training and the leasing possibilities, because like we are not offering the hardware. We just like say what you need on hardware and put everything together, that you have this drone system with the camera, the drone itself, and our innovation on it. And then we will definitely do an on-site training, we demonstrate the system and give you like the hands-on instructions. And of course, when you on-site in the wind park, we will offer you the technical support if you have any problems, issues, whatever, or also like how we can develop our system, then we will be there. So, and this is already my part of the presentation. Do you have any questions? Okay, if not, you will see us on our booth, and I will give back to Felix.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. I think we ran out of time, so...
Pretty much we have, yeah, let's say two minutes.
2
if
minutes.
we want to be ready for time.
I'm thankful for the many questions you had about the inspections, but as a result, I only have 100 seconds left to explain you how we reduce costs and monitoring. And I try to do it now in 60 seconds. We give everything which needs no human attention to our robots, which are software automation tools. We have customers where about 70% of all the classification work and log file work is automated. Another thing we are doing to save money is to filter and show the users only the relevant information. When you look at a large fleet, you are overwhelmed with a lot of information, and most of the information is boring. Most of the information just tells you it's running, okay, or somebody else is already taking care of whatever has happened. This is all boring. So we show you where a human expert is now needed for a decision. And third thing, the SCADA systems of the wind turbines are better than for the solar parks. What I mean with better, the wind turbines send a lot of error codes when they have observed something is wrong, or maybe a warning. But actually, they miss a lot. So what we want to enable you is to see things that you did not see before, because the turbine did not send an error code. Just 2 or 3 examples. Usually you have in a building permit some constraints to protect the environment or the neighbors, and the turbine does not send an error code if it violates these building permit constraints, but it will be a really expensive fine from the authorities if you violate it, so you should better monitor them, and we have the software for it. This was, in a nutshell, and without slides, cutting down costs, and I will show you more about it after lunch at our booth, if you are interested, and I could also show it live to you, which was not possible here, so we could look into our system, which is more interesting than slides. Do you have now a question regarding the monitoring part? Okay, then thanks a lot for attending our workshop, and have a good meal, and maybe come to us with your questions later.
Thank you very much. And you're invited to visit the booth of ENERTRAG. Well, I will just shortly, comment. I think that what Damian said, that they use paper, sometimes they send emails, and then it's chaos, Excel Outlook chaos, and in 3 years nobody remembers that there should be a nut that had to be tightened, and it wasn't done, and then you have an accident. And I think that in the end, one of the things that you have not maybe or not underlined, but I think that the fact that you're keeping the track every year if something was fixed or wasn't fixed, and then if you have a small damage on the road, you can report it during the warranty time directly with the photo to the constructor of the road, and if they don't fix it, you have the proof that you have made the complaint, you have made the claim, they have not repaired it, and you broke your car. Or Vestas is calling you saying, we will not get through because there is a hole, and the hole 2 years ago was very small, but now it's a huge hole, and it takes a month to repair. So I think that keeping the track is also very helpful, also in respect to showing in the end, if you're a client, I doubt that they would be looking so much into the application unless there is a red sign saying turbine is stopped for health and safety or any other reason. Then they will look, and then they will call you, and then you need to call Vestas or anyone else saying, guys, it should have been repaired 3 months ago and you have not done anything. So I think that in the end, those are using the information technology basically to gather the information and make it more accessible, transparent, and easier to report in time. And I think that this is for the web app. And regarding the drone inspection, did you say you're not providing the equipment? So in the end, you're saying that you have a license, you have this, but I need to construct this thing myself?
The simple answer is the hardware is not built by us. There is a special company building the drone hardware.
Yeah, I think these are the main facts. Yeah.
Okay.
We have the knowledge about which parts and how to bring them together, and the software. So there's also a software and an AE behind it, and with a partner. And yeah, but it is mainly for warranty and guarantee reasons. So we are not a hardware producer.
No, I know, but I'm also a producer of hardware, and I just cannot imagine that you are asking the client, to put some things together, connect it with a cable, and there is 6,000 volts behind. I'm just, this is, I don't know, the president of the technical office.
It's not for everyone. You definitely need to have like informed and the right employees at you, like experts, of course. Yeah, but yeah, it is at the moment like this.
Okay.
So as I said, we're using this almost a year, like doing this license model. We are working on half a year on it, and this is like the status. This is the status quo at the moment. Maybe it will be different, so maybe we're doing some contracts with the actual producer of the parts, then it will be a bit different. We're developing, but this is the status.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you very much. I think that, regarding the LPS, the president of the Technical Inspection Office, which is the, authority in Poland, was in the presentation yesterday, today, and I think that if there is a major damage from the light strikes in the turbines, then this inspection will become obligatory at some point for sure. Like you can do the inspection of the elevator every year to avoid, but I mean this is really huge problem in the end, because every year
it happens very, very often to every wind turbine. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you very much. If you have other questions, then as I said, please go directly to the ENERTRAG booth at any moment, and you're invited for a short break for coffee. And the next session here in this room will be regarding biodiversity.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.